Hello students, in the last class we have discussed the phylum Echinodermata, which was the last phylum of the non-chordata. Now after the phylum Echinodermata we will start the next phylum, and that phylum is actually an intermediate between the non-chordate and the chordate, that is hemichordate. So what is the term hemichordata means? Hemichordata means those organisms which have, hemi means half, right? And this organism which have half notochord like structure, they are known as the hemichordata. Now what actually half notochord? See, normally this notochord is developed from one germinal layer, that is mesoderm. But what happens in case of this hemichordata? This organism will have this notochord like structure, but it is not notochord. Rather, this structure have developed from the outer cells of the embryonic gut, right? This is the first difference. Normally the notochord is a stiff rod-like structure, hollow structure, but what happens to the stomochord? It is an elastic structure, and this structure is arising from the pharynx region, and it is present up to the gut region. So these are the differences we can see in case of the stomochord and the notochord. So earlier it was thought, it was believed that these hemichordates, they are actually the chordate animal. It was included in the phylum Chordata. But later on, whenever all those differences have been understood, then this organism, hemichordates, they actually completely developed a different category, and the those scientists have categorized those species in a completely separate phylum. So that phylum is the hemichordata, but they resemble more like a non-chordate than a chordate. So let us see what is that characteristics, general characteristics of the hemichordata. See, first of all, if it comes to the habit and habitat, first of all, remember this organism, like the echinoderms, these organisms are also exclusively marine. Okay, so exclusively marine means these organisms are found only in the marine environment. They can never be found in the freshwater condition. Second thing, this organism, they actually used to live generally in the sea shore, or they are actually burrowing on the sand. They live generally in the sand. They are a meter length. They have a little bit high length as compared, if you see, suppose the atoms, right? So atom will be just few centimeters. Similarly, same type of organism like hemichordates, they are also soft-bodied organism. They are transparent, little transparent, and it is elongated up to a meter, 1 or 1.5 meter. Right? These organisms are found in the seashore. Okay. Now, this organism, habit and habitat, they are exclusively marine. Second thing about their body symmetry. So just see, these organisms, they will also have the same body symmetry. These organisms are bilaterally symmetrical organism. If you see level of organization, then this organism will have complete organ system level of organization. If it comes to germ layer, then they are triploblastic. Okay, so this characteristics we have already discussed, so that's why we will not going to study further those general characteristics. We are not going to see now. So those things I hope all of you know already. Next one, if it comes to coelom. Remember, in the echinoderms I told that echinoderms have some characteristics that resembles the chordate. So coelom was one character which actually like the chordates. Otherwise, if you see the coelom, then there are three conditions we see in the whole animal kingdom. They are acoelomate, pseudocoelomate, and coelomate organism. Under the coelomate organism, we have two types of organism. One is schizocoelomate, another is the enterocoelomate. So this group of animals, like the echinoderms, for the first time in the echinoderms, the characteristics, that is enterocoelomate characteristics appeared. So next one, in case of hemichordate, they also have the same characteristics, that these organisms are also enterocoelomic. So enterocoelomic means these are the coelomic organism itself. Under the coelomic organism, we have two groups. One is schizocoelomate, another is enterocoelomate. So these hemichordates, they are enterocoelomate. Next one, see, if it comes to body segmentation, see, they don't have any segmentation. There are no segments found in the hemichordates. If you see the organisms, three only phylums, those are Annelida, Arthropoda and Chordata. They only are segmented animal. But if you see hemichordates, they don't have it. So segmentation, this point, so this organism will not have any segmentation. Remember that. Next one, come to body form. See, this organism have a typical characteristics, that their body is divided into three distinct parts. Okay, so let me draw it. First of all, this organism will have a structure above, then the middle region, okay, and then they will have the innermost, that means posteriormost region, right? So this is one hemichordata. So one species actually I have drawn. This species is Balanoglossus. Okay. So this organism have a specific characteristic. See, their body have three distinct regions. What are they? The first region, this one, this is known as proboscis, right? Next one, this region, this is known as collar region, and this part, this is the trunk region. Okay, so remember in the body form point that their body is divided into three parts. What are they? First one is proboscis, then collar, and then the trunk. So their body is divided into three parts: proboscis, collar, and the trunk region. Now, if it comes to the structure, that is a notochord-like structure, then a notochord-like structure is present where the structure arises from the pharynx region up to the trunk region. And what is that? This is the stomochord. We will not call this as a notochord. Why? Because their origin is different. Because if you see the notochord is developed from a germinal layer, that is mesoderm. But in this case, hemichordate, this notochord-like structure has not arisen from the mesoderm. Rather, it is developed from the outer cell of the embryonic gut. Okay. So what we can call it? This is known as the stomochord. Remember, it is a elastic rod-like structure. Okay, and from the pharynx region up to the alimentary, just above the alimentary canal, this structure is present. Stomochord, which is a notochord-like structure, not the notochord. So that's why these organisms are known as hemichordate. They are not categorized under the chordate animal. Okay, next come to the digestion point. See, in this organism, what type of body plan is found? Their body plan. See, this body plan, this is actually tube within tube body plan. Okay, so if this organism have tube within tube body plan, then remember that what type of digestive tract they should have. They will have one type of digestive tract that is complete. That means they have a separate mouth and separate anus. And to join those points, they will have a complete alimentary canal. So this organism digestion, this tube within tube point is the body plan. They will have a complete digestive tract. Simply I will write here GI tract, and they will have only extracellular type of digestion, where the digestion of food will occur only in the alimentary canal. Then only the cell will absorb the already digested food. In the cells, further digestion will not take place. Now come to circulation. Circulation is important now. Why? Because see, in case of earlier phylum, in the echinoderms, what we have seen? In the echinoderms, we have seen that they have the hemal and perihemal system, right? They didn't have blood, as well as the fluid that was actually originated from the coelom. So that's why it was known as the hemal and perihemal system. In case of Hemichordata, what happened? Yes, they have blood, right? So blood is present, but it is more like the molluscan circulation. They have the open circulation, but does not mean that they don't have blood vessels. Yes, they have blood vessels. Suppose here, this is the collar region, right? They will have blood vessels in the collar region. The heart-like organ, this is not heart, but heart-like organ will pump the blood inside the blood vessels. But whenever the blood vessels will pump the blood, it will be pumped to the open spaces. That means in the trunk region, there is no vessels present. So as there is no blood vessel in the trunk region, from the collar region, from the blood vessel, the blood will be pumped. But later on, whenever it comes to the trunk region, it will be open. That means now the blood will freely flow in the tissue region. All the tissues and the organs get the blood directly from the surrounding, not from the blood vessels, right? So if it comes to circulation, they will have open circulation, right? So the blood is pumped. Blood is pumped to the sinuses. Now I hope you understand the meaning of sinus. Sinus means it's the open space where the blood is present. So this is the open space, trunk region, where the blood is being pumped from the that collar region, and it will go to the open space called the sinus in the trunk region, right? Now come to respiration. So what happened in them? They have the gills, okay? So you can see here this region, they will have the gill-like structure, okay? So this is the respiration. They have the branchial respiration. Why? Because in this region they will have the branchial aperture, okay? So this organism will have branchial respiration. Why? Because gills are the organs who help in respiration. Like the normal fishes have the gills, echinoderms also had the gills. In this organism, Hemichordates, they also have the gills for respiration. Now come to excretion. Excretion is an important point because in them there is a specific excretory organ is present who actually eliminates the nitrogenous waste product outside. And what is that? Here in this proboscis region, they will have an organ that is known as proboscis gland, right? And that proboscis gland will help in excretion, removal of the nitrogenous waste product. So excretion by proboscis gland, okay? Remember that. If it comes to reproduction, then yes, they will have sexual reproduction, okay? These organisms are all dioecious, okay? There are no hermaphrodite animals are present. That means the sexes are present in two different organisms. Now what happened to the morphology? If you see the male and the female, they quite look similar, but there is a distinct differences are seen in the breeding season. In the breeding season, what happens in the females, they will have the eggs, they are carried here in this region, okay? They little bit look like orange, yellowish in color, pinkish in color. So this organism, they will have the dioecious condition, they will also have the sexual reproduction. If it comes to fertilization, yes, in case of them, they will have fertilization, that is internal fertilization, okay? And they will have indirect development because in them there is a larva present. And what is the name of the larva? The larva is Tornaria larva, okay? Remember, this example comes very often. What is the name of the larva found in the Hemichordata? That one species I have given, that is Balanoglossus, otherwise Saccoglossus is also present. If you come to their general name, Okay, like scientific name, general name we have for pila, we have the general name that is snail. Similarly, if you see the balanoglossus, this organism, this proboscis region look similar like a tongue. So these organisms, what we can call, they are also known as the tongue worm. Okay, remember that. This is important also, it comes, right? So this organism will be also known as tongue worm, right? So that are all about the characteristics. Not much you need to know. That is all about the hemichordata. Hope all of you have understood. Okay, so how many points they're important? So let me make a star here about their body form, right? Their body is divided into three parts. What are they? Proboscis, collar, and the trunk. In this organism, they will have a structure that is a stomochord, which is derived from, remember, this is derived from the outer cells of the gut, okay, not from the mesoderm. This is the stiff rod-like structure, and this organism will have this stomochord from the pharynx region up to the alimentary, that means up to the gut region it is present, right? Next one about their digestion. Yeah, one more thing is important, that in case of them, you can see here they have this mouth actually. So what happened, very small fine cilia like structures are present, and those cilia can able to separate the sand particle from their food. Okay, so this organism can also be known as the ciliary feeder. Right, these organisms are ciliary feeder. Why? Because they are capable of separating the non-food particle, that means the sand or anything, from their food with the help of the cilia present around their mouth. Okay, so that is about digestion and digestion, body form, and then circulation. Remember, they have open circulation. If it comes to development, then they will have a larval stage that is known as Tornadia larva, right? Now this organism, hemichordates, they are also known as tongue worm. One very common example is balanoglossus, where body is divided into three parts. What are they? Proboscis, collar, and trunk. Hope all of you have understood. That is all about echinodermata. That is all about hemichordata. Thank you.